All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Sunday morning. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm fighting a bit of the crud. Whenever the weather changes like this, where we go from warm to cool, it just jacks me up. And I've had a headache for the last 2 days, starting Friday afternoon. I'm supposed to run Fabula Ultima tonight. I'm hoping I can run, but if I'm not feeling too good, I'm not gonna, unfortunately, which sucks because these guys have been waiting for like a month to play. But I mean, I don't want to run a substandard game. But today's video du jour is all the goodness. I bought, as many of you know, I bought the Daggerheart retail special. Came in a slipcover. It had a box with the cards in it, and it had the core rule book. And I kicked myself for not backing the collector's box because it is really nice. It's a box. It has a drawer that pulls out, and it had all the cards in it and everything. And more importantly, it had the GM screen, which is what I really wanted because I like a GM screen. I'm an old school gamer. I like running with a GM screen. I like having all those charts and everything there handy for me. So I was really miffed when it sold out and you couldn't get it. And I just happened to be at work a week ago, last week. I think it was I want to say last Monday or Tuesday, maybe. And I saw a posting. I don't remember where I saw the posting, if it was on Discord or if it was, I think it was on Discord. I saw a posting that said, Daggerheart collector's box available, no box. And I went, wait, what? So I clicked the link and I went there, and yeah, so basically what it was is it was the Daggerheart special edition without the box. So I guess they had ordered enough product but didn't order enough boxes. So they had it up on their daggerheart.com. And so I clicked on it, and of course I was able to buy it. I think it was $129. So basically double the cost of the regular box set, because the regular box set I think is 69. It's either 59 or 69. I can't remember, but either way, it was double the cost. It was like 120, 140 bucks. I can't remember roughly. But it didn't include the collector's box, and it told you that. It was very clear to state that you're getting everything that was inside the box. You're just not getting the box. Well, a lot of people want the box because that's what kind of makes it collectible. I personally don't give a shit about the box. I wanted the GM screen, and since they're not selling the GM screen by itself, which I think is a faux pas, but it is what it is. I don't think they expected Daggerheart to do as well as it did. I want to go off on a tangent here because also I think it was the Comic Sheet or some other YouTube channel had posted a video of the Gen Con Daggerheart where they took the current D&D characters from Critical Role. They ported them over to Daggerheart, and they ran a session of it, and it said that the combats were long, drawn out, and things were different. And I'm going to say, shame on them for belittling Critical Role. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's scripted," and you know, it's not. I game with 6 guys. We're all over 40. And these guys are kicking the door, kill the monster, take their loot. And since I've introduced Daggerheart, they've actually started role playing. They've actually thought about what their character would say. TJ is one of my players who's pretty much, he just wants to kill shit. He's like, let's go. How much damage can I do? You know, he's playing a wizard with chaos magic, and he's kicking ass and taking names. And he was really quick to pick up on it and get the gist of the game and playing to find out. And that's a new concept for a lot of older gamers. You know, we come from the background of, you know, AD&D or D&D or OSR type games where we just, you know, there's a scenario presented to us and we logically or in character try to figure out a way to defeat the bad guy, rescue the princess, kill the dragon, stop the orcs from invading, whatever it may be. But it's usually conflict resolution of some kind. and it doesn't require much thinking, right? You go in there, you make a build of a character that can kick ass and take names, whatever his thing may be, whether he's a sneaky rogue or a badass frontline fighter or a fireball casting wizard. And you play the game, and you just murder hobo everything. And that, I don't want to make it sound like all grognard gamers or murder hobos. We're not. But it was nice to see my players dive in and ask the questions, the background questions. Why do I have a bond with you? What do I do that annoys you? What did I do that and you lord over me? Or so all the different questions that each character class has, which was really cool, and the players got into it. So Daggerheart, is it a perfect game? No. Is it a good game? Yes, I think it really is. I've seen some videos and stuff where they're talking about the fear mechanic or the hope mechanic, and it's too powerful. The players are too powerful. I mean, in my opinion, the players should be powerful. The players should be heroes. They should be challenged. They should be tasked, and they should be held accountable for their actions. So when you have a game that facilitates that, and I mean, let's look at the DNA of Daggerheart: powered by the apocalypse, Dungeon World, D&D, Modifius games, uh, Fate. All the great RPGs are represented in this game. So it's really good if you're into that thing. And I say this in a lot of my videos: play what you like. Don't play what society dictates you should play. I came from the era of the satanic panic, right? I played lacrosse and football and junior high and high school. I've been 5'10", 150 to 200 pounds all through junior high and high school. I was a relatively big guy. So I played a lot of contact sports. I did a lot of karate and Chinese martial arts, bak fu to be specific. So I did a lot of contact competition sports. And the player's handbook, or no, it was the monster manual. The D&D monster manual fell out of my backpack. That was it. That was it. I was a demon worshiper. I couldn't hang out with the jocks anymore. I couldn't hang out with the academic kids because it was the satanic panic, and their parents didn't want the devil worshiper being with them. It didn't help that I was a child of a single mom. I didn't have a dad, and I was somewhat of a violent kid. So, the least provocation, and I started swinging. Uh, it didn't help. Let's put it that way. And so I lost my spot on the football team. I got booted off the lacrosse team, and then I just started hanging out with all the like goth kids. Well, they weren't goth back then; they were punk rockers. So I started hanging out with the punk rockers, and that led to a whole thing. But anyway, long story short, don't let society influence what you play. Daggerheart has a DNA ancestry of all the good role playing games out there. And as you can tell from my library, I've played a lot of different games, and there's not one of them that's perfect. There's not one of them that I say, oh, this is the game. I'll never buy another role playing game because I have this game X. There is no game X. Uh, that's why this library is so big, because there's a ton of games out there, and you're always looking for that better game. You're always looking for that game that gives you something. And I will tell you right now, Daggerheart has given me that something as a GM. I've yet to play. I would love to play a game. But I'm going to tell you, I'm really digging the GM aspect of it. It lets me be very creative. I'm a, I'm a, I'm a off the cuff GM. I have a general outline of my adventure. I'll have like the antagonist, I'll have the situation, but I don't flesh out a whole bunch of that. I have a list of NPC names and I roll with that. I look down at the list and I pick a name and I go. And then a lot of times I'll just make a note. But anyway, I'm digressing. I play what you like and enjoy what you play, and let your friends dictate what you run if you're a GM. If you've never GM'd, I think Daggerheart is a really good game to start that journey because it's very free form, gives some very good advice. And if you're sitting with a gaming group, these are people you most likely know already. So the stigma of, not knowing what to do or being the first time isn't going to matter as much because it's your friends, right? You're sitting around, you're laughing, you're having a good time. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get the rules wrong. It's okay. Have fun. Work it out with the players. Have at least one copy of the rule book. Maybe all the players have a digital copy. Everybody can help. My players, I will say, I am so grateful for the gaming group I have right now. These guys are quick to look up a rule, quick to give me a break when I need a break. I mean, they're just on it. They're really good players. They provide soda and snacks every Saturday that we play bi-weekly. They provide snacks and soda and everything, and they are just genuinely helpful. Ryan helped me mount my TV. Uh, Kevin has helped me with some projects around the house and stuff like that. It's amazing, guys. So anyway, lean on your gaming group, trust them, they'll trust you, and you'll have fun. But anyway, let's get into the not collector's box, no box collector's edition. So I got this in the mail the other day. As long as a 10-minute ramble to get to this, but so you get all your tokens. These are just little plastic beads of all different sizes and colors. Well, they're all pretty much the same size, but they're a whole bunch of colors. These are to use as tokens on your character sheet. You can use them as fear tokens. You can use them as hope tokens. Like there's a couple black ones in there. I hope there's 12 of each because that would be like really smart thinking on that part. But it comes in a really cool bag with the Daggerheart logo. I don't have a need for these because my players all have something else that they use. And I'll show you my fear tracker here in a minute. But I wanted to get through this. So this came in a nice bag, like a little silk type, synthetic bag with the Daggerheart logo, drawstring. So to make a nice dice bag or whatever. I'm glad I have them, and I'll use them for something. I'm gonna go over. We're gonna look at the Daggerheart dice in a minute. Don't gonna do those last. Of course, I got the collector's edition of the Daggerheart book. Now, the difference between this one and the retail one is it doesn't say Daggerheart and it has a different cover. It is by far awesome. It is got the gold gilding around it. I really wish the pages would have been gold, like the cards. You'll see the cards in a minute, but the cards, the edges are gold. I think it would have been fantabulous follow through to make the edges golden. But this is the exact same book that you get with the retail version. It has the ribbons in it. You can see there's the ribbons right there. It's stitched, Smith bound. This book is going to hold up. It's gorgeous. I love it. I have a PDF copy as well, so I'm okay there. And like I said, I'm happy with it. Now, I'm going to save that for last. So this is my solution. There you go. You can see the logo on there. So if that helps anybody. I bought this off of Amazon for under 20 bucks. I think it was like $16 or $17. This is nothing but a Magic the Gathering or collectible card game sleeve folio. And I've got a bunch of papers in here, so I got to be careful they don't go all flying. So I'm going to take those out for a second. And you get, I don't want to accidentally hit the keyboard. You get, when you also order this, is you get a stack of the Daggerheart character sheets. So there's the Bard, the Wizard. I mean, all the character sheets with the everything that you can download off the website is in this little bundle here. So you can you've got extra. I've got tons of character sheets now. I printed a whole bunch because I'm one of those grognards that I just print stuff. But what I like about this folio is I could put all my cards in there. So as you can see, now I have a box of sleeves that I will put in sleeves, but you can see, hopefully you can see that on the edge that the card is gold. It's not showing up very well, but all of the cards are gold. I don't know what they call that, embossing or whatever, but it's all the same Daggerheart cards with the art. Now you can download these off of daggerheart.com. They just won't have the character art on there. And the art is pretty darn cool, if I say so myself. So happy to have this. Like I said, cheap binder, under $20 off of Amazon. I'm happy with it, and I like what it does. And it feels nice. It's like this leather, cushy. It's weird. I really like it. The big thing, the thing I wanted the most besides the dice. I really wanted the Daggerheart dice. Now, I'm the GM, so I don't roll the duality dice, but maybe one day I'll get to play and I can roll real dice. So I wanted the GM screen, and I got it. And it follows the same pattern of the book. It's the specific art. There is no retail version of the GM screen at this time. That doesn't mean they're not going to do one. I think supply and demand is going to dictate that they're going to have to release this, maybe with some different art. I hope they do different art, because then it would just invalidate. If they release this separately, it would invalidate the collector's edition, and I hope they don't do that. But the interior is all the charts and everything you need as a GM. Really well done. Some nice art. It's very thick. It's trifold. Now, if I'm going to be nitpicky, I wish it would have been quadfold, because I have my big, you can't see it. I have my big GM screen over there, right? Would be nice if this would fit in there perfectly, but it won't. Or what I could do is I could photocopy these. I've got a scanner printer here. I could photocopy these and I could print them out, and I could just put them in my GM screen. But I'll probably just put this behind my GM screen, my big wooden GM screen, because I really like that GM screen. Shout out to Arcanea Wood Products for making that for me. It was awesome. So anyway, the GM screen is fantabulous. The art is amazing. It's pretty much the art that's on the book. It's sturdy. It's going to hold up to some abuse. And then the best thing, I mean, who doesn't love dice? We're all dice goblins, right? And so you get the nice little bag with the purple logo. Purple's my favorite color, but you get the D20. You get the Daggerheart dice. Now, the D12s are specific. So you got your hope and your fear D12s, and they have the. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, they have the Daggerheart logo on there. It's kind of hard to see on that one. We'll do it on this one. If I can find, there it is. You have the Daggerheart logo right there. I guess it would go that way. Or yeah. So there's the Daggerheart logo. So that's the duality dice. They're very nice. Oh, look at that. I rolled with fear. Then you get another standard D12. I like the purple. Again, purple's my favorite color. So it's purple and gold. It's very visible. You can see it really well. You can make out the numbers very well. So the D20 is a little on the chunky side, which I do like. And of course, it has the, I believe it has the Daggerheart logo on it. If I can find it, the light in here is not that great. There it is. So yeah, you get the Daggerheart. There it is. You get the Daggerheart logo. So nice chunky D20. I'm going to use this when I run this Saturday. Then I think they screwed up my. Oh no, they didn't. I got it. I didn't see it before. So you got a full set of polyhedrals. So you got the D20, you got the hope and fear, the duality dice. Then you have a separate D12. So you actually have 3 D12. But it's a normal D12. It's not the other D12s are they're like D6s. It's hard to describe, but they're a funky design. You have percentile dice, so a D10 and a D100, or a D10 and aughts, whatever it's called. A D8, nice chunky D8. And you have a chunky D6, and then a big D4, aka the caltrop. Don't leave this on your floor. It will go through your foot. It is very pointy. So needless to say, super awesome dice set. Really, really impressed with it. Like I said, I'm going to use it this coming Saturday. I have my next Daggerheart session, and I am super excited to run and use my new dice. So, and the cool part, I guess I should have prefaced this at the beginning, is my one of my players, Bryce, bought my regular standard edition of Daggerheart that came with the card. So he's got his own set of cards. And then another player, Ryan, bought his own set. He really liked it, and he liked having another set of cards because we only had one set of cards. So he really liked it enough, and Barnes and Nobles just happened to have it, and so he went and bought it that Saturday. So that all being said, super cool. Now you see it's the collector's box without the collector's box. So it's still pretty neat. And then for my fear tokens, I run a game called Mutant Chronicles by Modiphius, which uses momentum or threat. And their threat is called the Dark Symmetry. And you need a pool of tokens as the GM to represent. And if you remember, going back to the earlier part of the video, I mentioned that some of the inspiration for Daggerheart came from Modiphius. And this is where you see it. In a lot of Modiphius's games, you'll have some sort of threat. And they might be called different names. In Mutant Chronicles, it's called Dark Symmetry. In Conan, I believe it's called Doom. So anyway, you need tokens. And so in Daggerheart, obviously you need tokens as well. So for my Mutant Chronicles game, I had these little skulls, right? I got them off of a cheap Halloween necklace, and I just pulled them in. It just happens to be 12. How lucky am I? So what I did is I glued some magnets on the bottom of them. You can see it. I just glued some magnets with some super glue. And necessity being the mother of invention, I did not have a strip of metal. Now, my buddy Kevin is going to bring me a strip. He does sheet metal work, so he has all kinds of sheet metal laying around. So he's going to bring me a piece of sheet metal that I can attach to the top of my GM screen. But in the meantime, the only thing I had was a hacksaw blade. So I have a hacksaw blade. And what I did is, because I will be manipulating this, I put the cutting edge of the blade towards the players, because they shouldn't be reaching over touching this. So that way I don't accidentally cut myself. It's not it's not like a razor blade, but it is, if you reach fast and you run your finger over it, it might cut you. But yeah, and then I just got some blue tack, and I just tacked that onto the top of my GM screen. With the skulls facing the players, just like this. So, and then with the blue tack, I can put it here on the bottom of my monitor, and I can use it when I'm running my Wednesday night Daggerheart game, because I run Daggerheart online. So yeah, so it works out both ways. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's my little homespun GM fear tracker. And like I said, once I get the piece of sheet metal from Kevin, I will make it a little more permanent. I'll put some clamps on it or something and figure out how to make it a little more stable. So that is the Daggerheart collectible box, not box collectible. I don't know what I think I named the video something stupid. So the Daggerheart collector's box, not box. So that's what you're getting if you decide to open this or purchase it. My buddy Brian, longtime friend of mine, he's like my little brother. He was asking about Daggerheart because he's seen some of the hubbub, but he's not really. He's running Star Trek, so he's a big Modiphius fan. He's running Star Trek. He's run Conan before. He's run some other. Oh, he's also running Achtung Cthulhu. So he's familiar with Modiphius games. He was asking about it, and so I told him, yeah, they had some, and they, as of, I think it was Thursday or Friday night. I think it was Friday night. They still had sets available. So if you haven't gotten your set, if you don't mind not having the collector's box, you can go order it and get it. So just wanted to give a shout out to Brian. He ordered it. Hopefully he'll get his sometime early this coming week. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a little ramble there, a little bit of everything, but I just wanted to show off the contents of the Daggerheart box. As always, like and subscribe if you like what you see. Support me on Patreon, $5 a month. I have a very active Discord. We run games on the Discord. Stop in and say hi. We talk about role-playing games. It's a friendly, safe place for gamers of all ages. As always, peace and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says be nice. Take care, everybody.